My passion is basketball. So imagine my surprise when I make the high school basketball team at my school, only to find out my coach, Coach Moose, she's named after the school mascot for the sake of the story, she and my mom have this long history of betrayal and deceit. It's all because they were going for the same boy in high school. Well, guys, she's taking it out on me, and I'm not going to let that happen because I know I'm the star of the basketball team, and she's going to play me because I'm trying to win and get a college scholarship. So I decide to get a bit of revenge.
Hey everyone, I need some perspective. I'm a 14-year-old freshman who's been in love with basketball since the 5th grade. But ever since I joined the school team, things have been rough. My basketball coach, let's go ahead and call her Coach Moose, after our school's mascot, has been out to get me, and I recently found out why. I didn't know this initially, but Coach Moose and my mom have a really bad history. Apparently, they were enemies back in high school, and the animosity all stems from my mom stealing Coach Moose's old boyfriend. My mom could not believe it when she found out who the coach was, and even recommended that I don't join the team. But I just could not let something like this come between me and my passion. It all started with little comments here and there about the way I dressed, how I shot the ball, or even how I dribbled. I figured it was just tough love or tough coaching, but soon the criticism escalated. Coach Moose would openly criticize my clothes in the locker room, making comments about my body, underwear, and shirts. Other students would wear and hear, but nobody dared say a word. One day, after a particular brutal practice, I broke down and told my mother everything. Her face turned white, and she finally told me the whole story. She said she and Coach Moose were each other's nemesis and had hated each other's guts ever since the boyfriend incident. I was shocked, but I couldn't quit the team. It felt like giving up on a part of myself, and I tried to keep my head down and focus on the game, but Coach Moose's comments just kept coming. Sometimes I would see Coach Moose smirking at me, her eyes filled with a strange triumphant gleam. It was as if she were living out her revenge against my mom through me. It was so unnerving. I talked to my teammates, but they all seemed afraid to say a word. Even my best friend on the team seemed hesitant to back me up. She'd seen the wrath of Coach Moose before and did not want to be on her bad side. I'm stuck. I can't quit the team, but every practice is becoming a nightmare. I can see the enjoyment of the game slipping away, and it's breaking my heart. I feel like I need to do something, but I don't know what. Any advice and comments would be super helpful. I will update you guys when I figure out what I'm gonna do. What's up, everybody? Mr. Reddito here. So today's story, the next update takes about a month before OP puts it out. And guys, this incident with the coach is far from over. If you guys want daily revenge stories, make sure you're subscribed to Mr. Reddito's Revenge. And let's jump into update number 1. 1 month has passed since my last update, and things have gotten much more complicated. Our team was undefeated in the last 3 games, and I was on the top 3 scorers each team. I was starting to feel really good about myself, my teammates, and even the coaches, despite still enduring Coach Moose's spiteful behavior. But going into our 4th game, my parents decided to come watch me play. I was hesitant at first because I knew that having my mom there could cause problems with Coach Moose. But I really wanted my parents to see me play and shine like a star, so I agreed. Well, that day changed absolutely everything. Coach Moose forced me to sit out most of the game. I was visibly frustrated, wanting to show my parents that, well, what I could do on the court. But Coach Moose kept telling me it was not my turn to play. My mother was growing visibly upset in the stands, and I could hear her anger building. It wasn't until the last few minutes of the game, when a teammate got hurt, that I was finally called into play for literally 2 minutes. Unfortunately, it was too late and we lost the game. My heart ached, and I could not shake the feeling that we only lost because I was not allowed to play. After the game, my mom, red-faced and furious, well, she did something crazy. She stormed up to Coach Moose and started questioning her decision not to let me play. She told Coach Moose to take her grudge out on her, not out on me. Coach Moose looked embarrassed but quickly tried to explain that other players on the team needed playtime. I knew that wasn't true. My teammates knew it wasn't true. I was the score leader. Even the other coaches looked a bit uncomfortable. The confrontation became heated, with my mom accusing Coach Moose of sabotaging the game out of, well, personal spite. And Coach Moose defensively tried to justify her decision. The other parents and students were watching, and I could see the shock and confusion written all over their faces. It was a complete disaster, and I felt trapped in the middle of it. I know that Coach Moose's grudge against my mom cost us the first loss of the season. I can't help but feel a bit angry, betrayed even, I don't know, helpless. My teammates are starting to ask questions, and I don't know what to say. I'm scared that this will ruin the team's dynamics and my relationship with my friends. Update number 2. Hey guys, it's me again, and oh boy, do I have an update for you. Just a week after the incident at the game, something shocking happened during practice. We were having a heated conversation about self-defense. I know, strange topic, but hey, we were into it. And we were so engrossed that none of us heard Coach Moose trying to get our attention from the other side of the court. Frustrated, she picked up a basketball and tossed it across the court, and guys, the ball slammed right into the back of my head, and I fell to the floor dazed and in pain. Everything went silent, and I saw a surprise, confusion, and even guilt on Coach Moose's face when I finally woke up. My teammates helped me up, and Coach Moose offered an apology, but it felt insincere. She tried to justify her actions, saying we weren't listening, but I could not shake the feeling that she had done it on purpose. And man, what crazy aim she had! The other coaches and my teammates looked uncomfortable again, knowing that her reasoning was not true. I sat out the rest of the practice nursing a massive headache and possible concussion, and went home that night keeping everything bottled up to myself. I could not tell my mom. I knew that this was something I had to handle on my own, so the next day I went to the principal's office and asked him to review the security footage in the gym. Well, he was hesitant at first, but when I explained the whole story, he agreed to look into it, and yes, a few hours later, I was called back to the office. Walking in, I found my mother, Coach Moose, and the principal all there waiting for me. Coach Moose looked pale, guilty, and defeated because the evidence was crystal clear right in front of her. She apologized to me and my mom, stuttering over her words, tears in her eyes, and she even apologized to the principal and then left the room with her head hanging low. Well, later that day, word gets around that Coach Moose had quit. My teammates were shocked, and the other coaches were tight-lipped about the whole situation. Practice felt strange without her, and I could not help but feel guilty. Did I go a bit too far? I wanted to stand up for myself, but I never intended for her to lose her job. My love for basketball is still strong, but this whole situation has left me feeling confused and conflicted. I'll keep you guys updated for now, but I need your insights. Final updates, posted by OP 3 months later. 3 months have passed since the last update, and my basketball team has been doing remarkably well. We've reached the playoffs, losing only that one game, and the memory of the situation with Coach Moose has begun to fade. I can't shake the lingering guilt, though. My intentions were only to make her stop treating me unfairly. I never wanted her to quit her job. However, a twist in the story rekindled my determination. During one of our playoff games, I looked across the court and spotted old Coach Moose, coaching at an opposite high school team. The surprise was palpable, and my teammates noticed my shock, and the realization spread quickly through our bench. I felt a mix of emotions. from anger and betrayal to a newfound motivation. It was clear that she had moved on, and now I had to prove myself against her new team. The game was intense and the stakes were high, and Coach Moose's presence added a layer of drama that fueled my drive to succeed. We played like we've never played before. I dropped 42 points. And it was actually a high school record for my state, and we absolutely destroyed the other team. After the game, Coach Moose approached me with her eyes filled with a blend of regret and understanding, and she apologized for everything, confessing that she had been hard on me because she saw me in the same potential she once saw in my mother, her former rival. The years have distorted her perspective, turning her passion for coaching into a twisted grudge. Tears welled in both of her eyes as I accepted her apology, and we hugged the past and finally laid it to rest. She took a vengeance out on me like I was the one about to steal her boyfriend. But both of us moved on, happy and content. But guys, I still can't help but still question my actions. Was I wrong for pursuing an investigation that led to her losing her job, only for her to find another coaching position that quickly? Was I the one to blame for reigniting a feud that had nothing to do with me? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What's up, everybody? Mr. Reddito here. So that's the end of the story with the updates from OP. If anything else comes out about this story, you guys will be the first to know. But let's look at some comments. I've compiled 5 of the most intense comments from the original post and the updates. And let's see which one you guys think is the most reasonable. Comment 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Here is comment number 1. I totally side with OP on this one. The coach was way out of line with her constant criticism, and the incident with the basketball was just downright dangerous. OP, you had every right to seek justice, and I'm glad she found a resolution in the end. Comment number 2. Honestly, I think OP went too far. The coach may have had her issues, but I've had tough coaches too. It's really not that big of a deal. This is a sport. But going to the principal and getting her fired, that seems pretty rash. Especially when the coach later explained her intentions. Maybe, OP, you should have just walked up to her and tried to talk to her first. I don't know, that's what I would have done. Comment number 3. Coach Moose was tough, a tough coach, but sometimes that's what it takes to bring out the best players. I've had tough coaches too, and I think she saw potential in OP and was trying to push her. Her method might have been harsh, but her intention was necessarily not wrong. The apology at the end shows that she has good heart. Comment number 4. I don't know what these commenters are on about. The coach's actions were completely inexcusable. She's a grown woman, and OP is an aging teenage girl. Her personal grudge with OP's mother had no place on the basketball court, good coach, bad coach, or not. And her behavior during practice and games were unprofessional. She would rather lose than play the star player. That's so silly. No wonder she ended up quitting. OP deserved better treatment. And the final comment number 5, says, this whole situation was a mess from the get-go. Coach Moose let her personal feelings cloud her judgment, and OP took things too far by getting her fired. Both parties had their faults, and it's a real relief that they managed to find some resolution in the end. But overall, nobody handled this well.
So we just read some of the comments, and this story, it was action-packed. I don't know what some of the comments were even talking about. They were out of their mind, but in my opinion, I think comment 4 basically hits the nail on the head. I'll reread a little bit of it. It says, the coach's actions were completely inexcusable. It was a personal grudge with OP's mother, and it had no place on the basketball court. It says a little bit more, but basically that sums it up. What do you guys think, though? Do you think OP was the a-hole? Do you think comment 4, like I thought, is basically the right answer? Drop your decision below which of these 5 comments you would go with. My name's Mr. Reddito. I narrate stories every single day, and this is Mr. Reddito's Revenge channel. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel by looking down below. Make sure that subscribe button says subscribed. Guys, have a fantastic day. I'll see you tomorrow, and remember, it's cool to be kind. See ya!